Hey guys, it's Josie with Queen My Pawn. It's a little bit dark since it's nighttime. I just got out of the second round. I was playing a guy named Espinosa, and I haven't beaten him yet. Um, let's take a look at the game. Basically, I've played him, I think, 3 times before, and I haven't won a single one. Let's see if anything changes this time. So, let's go ahead and take a look. So I was white, d4, knight of 6, c4, e6. Knight of 3. I didn't want to go into any Nimzo Indian possibilities, so he played the Queen's Indian, b6. Bishop g5, so I can get the bishop out the pawn chain. Bishop b7, e3, there it is. Now I can develop as normal. Bishop e7, knight c3, d6. At this point, I think he wants to play the hedgehog. Okay. Bishop d3, knight bd7. And I reckon that e5 is a possibility still. No big deal. I play queen e2. If e5, then e4, and I get a pretty good game with the f5 square being mine, or else he has to weaken his kingside with g6. He played h6, bishop a4, a6. However, b5 is not really a threat because I have a lot of pressure on b5 myself. So I play h3 because I want to keep the bishop. For example, g5, bishop g3, and then knight to h5. He could have played g5 here, but his king would have been a little bit unsafe. So, I just play h3 anyways. So let's see. c5. Challenging my center. Okay. But I see that I actually get a pretty good game after he takes d5. But not knight takes e5, then e5 and e4. So bishop g3, he castles, and now he expects me to castle probably. Well, now I play a really strong move. See if you can find it. Okay, so you should have paused the video and try to find it. Well, I create a threat with e4. The threat is e5. Pawn on e5 is really strong. Now, c takes d4. Knight takes d4. This knight's not going to be chased away anytime. Knight c5, attacking my bishop, but bishop c2. Queen c7. I consider this to be a mistake because it's right on the diagonal of the bishop, and he can't really play d5. It's a strange move. In the end, he wants to get the queen to a8, but rook to a7 and then queen to a8 is typical. So queen to c7. Dubious, at least. Castling, rook a d8. Now I want to play f4, but I don't want to be checked, so I play king to h1. Well, actually, first I play rook a to d1. Then he plays knight to e8. Now definitely f4 has to be played, or king to h1. It likes f4. It also likes king to h1, but f4 is probably the best move. I play king to h1. He plays queen to b8. But now this definitely allows f4. And I have a strong edge here. Queen to a8. And now I play e5. Yes. So yeah, I'm just playing all the right moves so far. He plays knight to c7. Now I create a threat. Bishop to b1. However, it says that I actually have a strong position after f5. D takes e5. Well, actually, why didn't I play this? Well, I didn't play this because of d takes e5 and bishop takes e5, f6. This is what I saw. But then I didn't see that I could have taken the knight. Well, I see that I've made a mistake in the game. I don't know what it was, but maybe I was tired. I genuinely don't know why. I didn't see that the bishop could simply take. Wow. I made a huge mistake by doing that. I'm not really sure why I made that mistake. I mean, I would have played f5, obviously. Wow. Well, instead I played bishop to b1. Not bad. He played g6. f5 is still a strong move. But I made a mistake here and I played queen to c2. Now he has d5 himself. And I guess that's where the tables turned. That's disappointing, to say the least. I got a really good position, just advancing the pawns. That bishop on g3 is so strong. The breakthrough is strong. f5 just simply has to be played in this position. So I'm just going to comment really briefly that I didn't see this during the game. Of course. Okay, so bishop to b1, g6, queen to c2, d5. And at this point, I was in time trouble myself. I had 7 minutes to his 20. Yeah, he had a lot of time. I'm going to be using the engine from now on just to see how accurately I played. b4, the middle game. Knight e4, knight takes, pawn takes. Now I played c5. B takes c5, B takes c5, and now he played knight to d5, centralizing a knight. It's pretty good. Now I play c6, the right move. He played knight to e3, giving me the edge again. C takes b7, queen takes b7. Now I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake, you guys. I did queen takes e4. Oof, that's terrible. I fell into the trap. Simply any other queen move would have been well. I would have kept the bishop here. I would have I miscalculated basically. There's a distraction. The knight is gonna distract right here, and basically it's gonna be all over now. So this isn't good. I try my best to defend with bishop f2, but he has bishops to c5. So now rook takes f1, bishop takes c5, bishop to h4. It's really easy to play the best moves when you're down 2 points. Not like in the tournament, I mean 2 points on Stockfish. Bishop to f6, rook fb8. It's looking pretty bad. h4, I should have played this a long time ago. In fact, let's go back over here. I thought about playing h4 here, but f5 is simply the best move. Simply. There's also an interesting sacrifice that he mentioned. He actually mentioned that he saw this and he thought I was going to play it. I just don't see how this is winning. Oh, but the rook can take the bishop. Well, something else I didn't see, but I was never going to see that. I just didn't see the bishop g3 attacking the knight c7. That's really disappointing. So that is very sad. Let's continue then to the end, to h4. Now bishop to b6, h5. You play king to h7, which is a mistake because h takes g6, f takes g6, rook to d1, which is what I played. Rook to c7, rook to d6. This says g4 is better. Interesting. I was just worried about this. Oh, but he can't play that. And if he tries that, then I just open everything up here. So that would have been interesting. But I played rook to d6. Bishop to e3. Now king to h2 would have been pretty good. I thought about that during the game. Maybe I could have played that during the game. It's just not safe in the back rank. I played rook takes e6. And that gives him the edge again. Wow. So bishop takes f4, bishop takes g6. I thought about it for a while, but it turns out that because of basically a cute trick, he ends up getting just fine. King to h5, and I can't take the rook because of checkmate. So I play g4, king takes g4, bishop takes c7. Apparently there's a better, yeah, king, any move here would have been checkmate, and I would have lost the game for sure. Now it's still kind of in the air. So he plays now rook to b1, king to g2, rook to b2, king to f1, king to f3. And I could have played rook to b6, it's true, but it's losing anyways. Bishop to a5, rook to b1, bishop to e1, bishop to d2, rook to f6, king to e3. Now it says any other move except for the one I played in the game. e6. Rook takes e1, king to g2. I could have just taken that pawn, to be honest. That would have given me a... Well, let's see. It doesn't like it too much. Yeah, I mean, this would have been the best chance for a draw. He has to catch up both pawns. And so king to g2, king to d4, e7, rook takes e7, rook takes a6. In the end, I ended up losing again to Levasky. So it's 4 matches that, well, 4 games that he's won, and I've won not a single one yet. But that's my mistake. I used to blunder terribly, okay? I used to blunder so much against him, but now I haven't made a single blunder. The only thing I can do was take advantage of the win, because maybe I could say that I made a mistake. Knight to c7 was a terrible move, because now f5 actually works. I felt great during the game. I felt like I could beat him. Well, I simply didn't see that the power of the long-range piece through those 3 pawns. Gotta work on my discovered attacks, I guess. All right, well, I feel good about tomorrow. It's another 2 rounds. We're gonna see how well I do. And so on to the next one. Hope you liked it. If you do, then make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to my content so that you can see more of this. And yeah, I'll definitely see you on the next one.